Oh, howdy all, grab yourself a beer, it's time for some Path of Exile discussion. Today, I wanted to talk about the crafting base Grasping Mail, which was added in 3.14 in the Ultimatum expansion, and it was sort of a little bit of a puzzle for players to work out how you got them early on, and then to work out how they worked. Now, this information is well known at this point. What I've done that's new is a little bit of an experiment on how long it's going to take you to farm one. So a couple of intrepid players early on, unfortunately I don't know who to credit for this, ascertained that you got this new crafting base by vendoring 60, that is 60, a full inventory worth of breach rings in one transaction. So essentially this replicates the Lawweave recipe, where you vendor 60 unique rings and you receive a Lawweave unique chest piece. Grasping Mails, though, are not unique. What they are is they're a rare item, and that rare item will be provided to you unidentified. When you identify it, it will have some special mods. These are mods that are linked to breach items thematically, and some of them are very, very, very powerful. However, the Grasping Mail's other stats are poor. This is a piece of armor that has about half of the armor, evasion, and energy shield of the Sacrificial Garb, which is the other strength, intelligence, and dexterity armor. So all of the power of this item is contained in those special mods. And once those mods have been rolled over, once they've been removed from the item, they're gone forever. And so this creates a situation where chasing a Grasping Mail that has the perfect mod for your build is actually it's pretty rare for you to hit the right one. And if you do, those bases can be pretty precious indeed. So, how long does it take to get 60 breach rings in order to have one shot at a Grasping Mail, you might be wondering? What I've done is I've stacked up a number of breaches on maps in Lyra Arthane. Now, Lyra Arthane is one of the Atlas areas that you can spec into breaches in. So you get probing for weaknesses for 10% chance to contain breaches. You get Flash Breach, which is amazing. Breaches have 10 additional rare monsters. They open and close faster. And then you have the breaches contain additional magic monsters. This is one of the most powerful of the small nodes anywhere on the entire Atlas as well. So you need to factor that into your assessment of these nodes. The long and short of it is these nodes are pretty good, especially if you're adding breaches to maps via other methods. Now, my test was to take maps and run them in conjunction with, to run them as tier 19 maps. So I've rolled up a bunch of Lighthouse maps here, so their tier 16 is their inherent map tier. Then we are using Misinformation, which is +1 tier, and also also has other effects. We're running Terror, which is +1 tier and has a drawback. We're running Stalwart Defenders, which is +1 tier and has a drawback. Additionally, we are using a Booming Populace. Now, the fact that this is Booming Populace isn't important. What's important is that I traded for this from another player. If memory serves correctly, I paid 1.5 exalts for it. And when it was new, it had 15 charges on it, and it had a 16, so essentially 15 useful charges of the Maven Sextant. So this is the Elevated Sextant mod. Areas contain 3 additional breaches. Then think of this as being like a free Gilded Breach Scarab on every map that you run with it. So while I'm running these maps, these tier 16 maps are boosted to tier 19 by these 3, and then they're also given 3 breaches this way. Then I'm using Gilded Breach Scarabs to add another 3, and I'm using Zana Breach to add an additional 1. Long and the short of this is that every map has 7 breaches. They also have an 18% chance to have an 8th breach on them. And having done 6 of these maps, I've looted 26 breach rings. I've died a couple of times while I'm doing this because I'm playing a squishy character. And I think that if I hadn't had those deaths, you'd probably be, because a death tends to waste the breach that you're in, I would probably be closer to 30 breach rings. So basically, I think if you're wanting to get an item level 86 breach ring, item level 86 Grasping Mail, which then gives it the flexibility to have every mod in the game rolled on it, most importantly, highest tier life mods, then this is going to be the sort of amount of investment you're going to need. A full Misinformation, a full Terror, a full Stalwart Defenders, a full Watchstone of any description that contains the Maven ring, the Maven Breach Sextant mod, and then you're going to need 12 Gilded Breach Scarabs. You can substitute this for lesser tiers of the Sextant mod, so you could have the Awakened Sextant mod instead, which grants 2 additional breaches, and then you would need to use some Winged Scarabs in there as well. Or alternately, you can just settle for lower tiers than level 86. The reason that I've been trying to get item level 86 is just simply because of that potential for them to be the best grasping mail in the game. As for good mods on grasping mail, the one you're really looking for, and this is not a common role, is your character has 1% increased attack speed per 25 dexterity. This mod is so good. Like on a dexterity stacking build, this mod single-handedly is better than any 2 influence mods combined. It is just incredible. It'll give a dexterity stacking build something like 75 to 80% increased attack speed. That's not more attack speed, it's increased, but it still is a monumental amount of increased attack speed. More than you can get on any other item in the game by a long shot. And you can just think of that as being all of your character's skills are supported by 2 copies of faster attack support at level 20. You know, it's a huge boost to character power. So that's one of them, but there are some others as well. Anyway, definitely let me know if you get any really interesting breach rings. Sorry, not so much interesting breach rings. Breach rings are just vendor fodder. But if you get any really interesting grasping mails, definitely let me know. There have been a couple of them that have been posted that have been crafted and posted up on Reddit. But do remember, if you do this, once you remove a mod from a grasping mail by any means, you cannot get it back. And so you've got to be very careful with how you craft these. And if you get a good combination of mods on it, then don't hesitate to ask for advice from experienced crafters, and you know, people will be happy to say, this is what I think is the best way to go, these are your chances of success, these are the consequences of failure. I'm going to leave it there though. I hope you have fun, and I will see you when the 3.15 big news drop happens in about a week's time.